49er faithful, it's officially game day. Are you ready? Because you know your boy Breezie's ready. Let's get right down to week one's game day predictions right here on the WayneBreezie Show. What's going on, 49er faithful to the Bay? Make some noise. We're touching down. It is Monday. The long official wait is finally coming to an end. The 49ers play this evening, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Time. The 49ers take on the New York Football Jets. The Jets are traveling all the way across the world to play the San Francisco 49ers. I guess you could say across the land, however you want to look at it. But listen, I'm super excited. 49ers football is back. And listen, I can't be more optimistic and confident in our team. We'll talk about injuries. We'll talk about some of the acknowledgments and astonishments and accolades that this team has had so far and what we feel this team is going to do throughout this particular upcoming game. I've spoken to Jets content creators. I've spoken to Jets, analysts. Listen, I think they're a little scared. But listen, shout out to you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. The Breezie Bunch crew. You all are part of the Breezie Bunch crew at this point, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your love, your support, your contributions throughout the years. Thank you. Shout out to Nick Nice, Raphael 562's in the building. 49er throwback, man. One of the greatest moderators out there. There's no one like him. Peachy in the building. The best to do it. Love you, Peach. Thank you so much. My man, Don't Bother Me's in the building. Kali, brother from another mother, appreciate you. Rome 33 says game day, fam. Central Cali in LA. Cost, LA. Let's go. 49 says, so there's no NGNT. Check this out. Nitty Gritty Niners Talk pre-game show. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to give it to you 30 minutes, and we're going to give it to you raw. We'll give you 15 minutes to get your food ready for that kickoff at 8:15 p.m., and then 30 minutes after the game, the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk will be back for the overreaction show. So, Jet, you're going to get football content all day right here on this channel. So if you're on this channel, make sure you like, you subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. All right? Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. So let's have some fun today. Again, shout out to everybody out there if you're in the chat and I missed you. Christy Marie, welcome back. Haven't seen you in almost a decade. It's good to have you back here. What's going on? Quest 46 in the building. What's good? Listen, I got Eddie G in the B-Dogs. What's good, bro? I'm just super excited. I think at this point, I'm just super excited. I'm just super excited. I'm anxious, like Genuine. I'm so anxious, but I'm super excited because we get to see that team that fell a little bit short in the Super Bowl, and how they're going to respond. Everybody's predicting the 49ers to have a Super Bowl hangover. I'm like, but we lost. Why would we have a hangover if we lost? It doesn't make any sense. We lost. If anything, we should have been itching and scratching and clawing, ready to play football again so we could get back to that Super Bowl, so we can correct the mistakes so that they can win. Then if they want to have a hangover, that's cool. I don't think there's a hangover when you lose, man. I think it's tough mentally. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I believe that the 49ers are going to come out with a bang, bang. No pun intended. Do I got the bang, bang sound? No pun intended. I really do. Why? Because they lost the Super Bowl. And however you want to look at it, you can say the Kansas City Chiefs beat them, or you can say the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. However you want to look at it, it's all good. Listen, shout out to our sponsor of the show, Residency. Listen, go to www.residency.com, all right? You can get you one of the exclusive Residency caps. These are your hats that your favorite players wear, as well as your favorite content creator, all right? So make sure you go there. Use my promo code SFBreezie. You'll save on your total purchase, all right? Listen, saving $5 is more than saving $0, all right? So go ahead and use that promo code and take advantage of the sale that they have going on right now. So if you go to www.residency.com, the link is in the description of the show. Will be at the end of the show. So make sure you go ahead and check that out, all right? And again, thank you to our sponsors from Residency and rocking with your boy Breezie for this is the second full year of the sponsorship partnership with residency. So Dion, what's going on, man? What's going on, bro? All right, let's get down to the get down. Listen, the first thing I want to do is acknowledge, I acknowledge you. First thing I want to do is acknowledge, far as 49ers news, Frank Gore is being was inducted into the 49ers Hall of Fame, into the 49ers Hall of Fame. And, well-deserved for Frank Gore, right? Well-deserved for Frank Gore. Will he get into the National Football Hall of Fame? And you know what? Let me do a quick poll question because I know you got to look at Frank Gore. And no, you know what? You don't have to look at Frank Gore in his total career. But I do know as a 49er, he put up some really ridiculous numbers. Will Frank Gore be inducted into the National Football, I'm spelling it all out, Football Hall of Fame? I'm going to put first ballot to make this a little bit more challenging for you guys out there. Yes, challenging for you. So go ahead and participate in that poll question. If you're watching live on YouTube, there's a live poll going on right now. Will Frank Gore be inducted into the National Football Hall of Fame? First ballots. All right. That's the first time go round when his opportunity comes. And for those that don't know who Frank Gore is, man, let me get the NFL Pro Reference and let's pull up his accomplishments and stats. And things like that, so you can understand who Frank Gore is and what he's done in the NFL. I mean, this dude he played 15 years in the NFL. Can we give Frank Gore a round of applause? His son is now currently on the Buffalo Bills, Frank Gore Jr. too, by the way. First 10 years of his career, though, was with the greatest team of all time. That's the San Francisco 49ers. I think that's the only team that matters. But you know what's funny? The last team that he played for is the team that we're playing on tonight. That's the New York Football Jets. And even in 2020, he played 15 games and started in 14 of them joints. And when I tell you Frank Gore went out with a bang, he went out with a bang. He actually outdid himself his rookie season with the San Francisco 49ers. His numbers in his first year in 2005 were very identical to his last year in 2020. Rookie season, and I'll tell you his numbers real quick, right? Rookie season, 14 games. He only started one, but he played in 14, 127 attempts, 608 yards, 3 TDs. In the receiving game, he had 22 targets, 15 receptions, 131 yards. All right, didn't score. That was his rookie season. In most of his games he didn't start. But let's get to the last year with the New York Football Jets. The New York Jets. He played in 15 games. He started in 14, 187 attempts, 653 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right, 2 touchdowns. And then as far as receiving, he had 19 targets, 16 receptions for 89 yards. Frank Gore is, I think, when you think of 49er running backs, it's probably Roger. You know what? It's probably Roger Craig, Frank Gore, Ricky Waters, and now Christian McCaffrey. Maybe that's the order. And as long as Christian McCaffrey stays here, I feel like he'll surpass Waters. Where would you rank? If I gave you those 4 49er running backs, how would you rank those 4 49er running backs? Frank Gore, Roger Craig, Christian McCaffrey. And I know we've had some others. We've had Garrison Hurst. We've had Ricky Waters, Roger Craig. Rank those guys. Ricky Waters, Roger Craig, Frank Gore, and Christian McCaffrey. And I know Christian McCaffrey hasn't been here long enough, but think about his impact since he's been here. So if you can kind of filter that in, and I'll pull up some of these. I said Garrison Hurst was nice. I did not say he wasn't. I did not say that, Kali. I said he was definitely nice. And then he had the injury, but he was definitely nice. Frank Gore had the longevity. He gave you 10 seasons. I can't think of another running back in the San Francisco 49ers offense that gave you 10 seasons. So if you had to rank the running backs, how would you rank them? Frank Gore 1, maybe? Roger Craig 2? Is Frank Gore the best running back that the San Francisco 49ers have ever seen? Do you want me to take Christian McCaffrey off the list? Because it seems like the moment he became a member of the 49ers, the team took off. So I feel like his impact was immediate. You know what I'm saying? Immediate. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But congratulations again to Frank Gore, inducted into the 49ers Hall of Fame. Very well deserved. Watching him get his red jacket, it was really good to see Patrick Willis there with him. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was dope as well. Yeah, it is what it is. Red Jet Shell's in the building. What's going on, Red Jet Shell? Let's move on. Let's see what else I got in my notes. You know, it's cool. I have notes. When I tell you the teacher in me is on point. Hey, I want to know how you feel. I'm not from the Bay Area. Okay? I'm not from the Bay Area. Even though I have a song called Faithful to the Bay. Boyz II Men will be singing the national anthem. Boyz II Men national anthem. I want to know how you guys feel about that. Like, for me personally, they're my favorite group of all time. So if I was there, I'd have been like, yes. And I know it's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, even if it's that. But if you guys know, the breaking news that came out yesterday was that, LA native Kendrick Lamar is going to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show over Lil Wayne. Do you think the 49ers should have gotten a Bay Area native maybe to open up the first game for the 49ers opposed to Boyz II Men, which are clearly from Philly? Trust me, Motown Philly. You know what I mean? And listen, I'm excited. Like Peachy says, I'm excited about Boyz II Men. Nigel Crane says Boyz II Men, that's dope. And if it's that song, there's no greater song and I bet they bet not do it with music too. They bet not. And when I say bet, I mean BET not. They bet not do it with music. I want all acapella, and it would be crazy if Michael McCary, the bassist of the group, the low baby, I'm sorry, if he's there, because he was just he just kind of appeared on a tour with them. So it'd be really cool if they give all four of those guys out there. But let's just say, is there any singing? I know there's a bunch of rappers out in the Bay Area, but are there any vocalists out there that y'all feel could have done or should be given the opportunity to sing the national anthem for 49ers home game? I'm just curious to know. I'm not from the area. I can't think of any singers, and this is for me to learn. You know what I'm saying? Rick, what's going on out there? Felicia's in the building. Rick says, when the 49ers get a rhythm going, there's no one that can stop them. WayneBreezie, you know it. Mike knows it. I know it. I know it. You know how I know it? I also wrote about this in the Keys to Victory, and make sure you check out the video up there, the Keys to Victory video, if you want to know my 5 keys. Now, I got feedback on my Keys to Victory. Somebody said, it was it wasn't the actual long video. It was the short that I did, and it was like, yo, who is this guy? What is he talking about? And it's not what the person said, but I'm like, dude, I mean, what do you want me to say in a minute? I got 60 seconds to give you 5 points. And then he was like, oh, you're kind of stating the obvious. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can do it. We got to do the obvious. We do the obvious week 1. You keep it simple, stupid, week 1. Week 1, stick to fundamentals. You keep it simple. After week 1, and there's evaluation, and then I can go and watch the film. After week 1, I could sit there and pinpoint on what the 49ers need to work on. Let's say they get 16 missed tackles. Guess what my first key to victory is going to be week 2? Missed tackles. You know what I mean? So think about that, man. So check out the Keys to Victory. Rhythm was definitely one of them for sure. Corey's in the building. Salute to you, bro. I've heard of her, Red Jet Shell, right? I just can't remember what she sound like. You know what I'm saying? And I never knew she was from the Bay Area. I never knew that. That's crazy. I never knew that. But isn't she? Isn't she never mind. I just didn't know she was from the Bay Area. I want to know if there's any other singers, but this particular, I don't know how to say her name, but this particular singer was pretty famous too, if I'm not mistaken. Not mistaken. Manuel said, Martinez says, Keisha Cole should be singing the national anthem. Is she from the Bay Area? I don't know. I don't know if she's from the Bay Area. I don't remember her being from the Bay Area, but she could be. But any Bay Area native. Now, listen, I'm super stoked that Boyz II Men will be singing the national anthem. There's no a cappella group other than Take Six, which if I was the 49ers, how many times have you heard my hashtag say Take Six, Take Six? Y'all be saying Quest for Six. I'll be like, the Niners need to go out there and take six. It would have been so dope. If the 49ers hired me, it would have been so dope to get the group, a cappella group, probably one of the greatest a cappella groups of all time, Take Six, to actually perform in San Francisco. Their name is Take Six. The Niners need to go out there and take the sixth championship, the sixth Lombardi. It just would have made perfect sense that sometimes you got to think outside the box. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes just a little bit outside the box. You know what I mean? Oh, Jay, yeah. Didn't he do the national anthem once? I didn't know Keisha was from Oakland. I always thought, oh, she moved to Atlanta to pursue her career. I got you. You guys are dope. Man, give yourselves a mother freaking ding ding, pause, and a round of applause for that. I remember her story now. I remember her moving to Atlanta. She was working with a couple of producers that I knew at the time. I remember her moving to Atlanta. She went to pursue her music career. Yep. Good job. Jay Valentine. I think he sung in the national anthem one time, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty good vocalist, right? Mac Hightower says, Wayne, deuces. I got San Francisco and Houston in the Super Bowl, but I do think San Francisco come up small tonight. Interesting. New York 22, San Francisco 17. I said give your predictions, and that prediction is there. I should have saved that. All right. Don't give predictions yet because we're going to do a specific segment on the predictions. We're just shooting a breeze right now. Just talking about some of the things that's coming up for the game. I don't even know if they still sing, but I just watched Commission get back together and they're doing an album, and I'm just assuming that Take Six can get together and sing the Star Spangled Banner. You know what I mean? I never knew this, Felicia, that Frankie Beverly was from the Bay Area. Is he from Oakland as well? I didn't know that. I always thought he was from the South. I thought they were a North Carolina group. I never knew he was from the Bay Area. Big Fish says it's game day. You already know, baby, because this is what I expect to hear tonight. You ready?
Touchdown, San Francisco.
Now listen, a lot of people don't like his voice, but if I hear that voice, that's good. That's a good thing. That means the San Francisco 49ers are scoring touchdowns. All right, so that's a great thing. All right, so I hope to hear that at least 4 to 5 times. 4 to 5 times for me. 4 times is cool because 4 times 7 is 28, and then 28 and 3 is a field goal that give me my 31. That's my 30 Purdy. I'm cool. 4 40s. One more time.
Touchdown, San Francisco.
Give me 4 of them things. Give me 4 poppers, and I'm good to go. Jack's 49er girl Knox is in the building. Says, good morning, faithful. Good morning to you as well, Jax. I just never knew Keisha Cole was from Oakland. God dang it. I'm supposed to know these things. I usually know these things, but thank y'all for schooling me on the WayneBreezie show. All right, so look, Boyz II Men is singing the national anthem. Now, if they don't do well, which is going to be kind of hard because I feel like they sing harmony better than anybody out there. But singing the Star Spangled Banner in harmony is tough. It's a unison song. I'm actually going to be enamored and see what Boyz II Men does to make that joint. So they're singing the national anthem. It better be nationally televised on top of that. I want to hear it all. Just like I hear all these other national anthems. Coco Jones opened up the season this year. That was dope. I expect Boyz II Men to do their daggone thing. Congratulations to my favorite group. It just sucks that I couldn't be there to watch my favorite group with my favorite team. And isn't this the second time Boyz II Men has done a national anthem at Levi Stadium? I feel like this is the second time. I missed them the first time too. Anyway, if you're going to be at the game, listen, enjoy it. Just enjoy it. If you want to do me a favor, take a video of it and send it to me, because I'm telling you, Boyz II Men is my favorite group of all time. I know they would love dudes. and I took him over Jodeci every single time. I know that's not right, but it's right for me. They had the Babyface songs, and Jodeci had the Baby Making song. So like, yeah, like, you know, it is all good, but it's all good. All right, so guys, get y'all questions. If you want to put some questions in there, I'm not going to read them now, but I am going to do a prediction show, and I'll even put the link in there if you want to come up and make your own game day prediction. And we're not just talking score predictions, we're talking game day predictions. But before we get to that, before we get to the game day predictions, I did want to go over the latest, the latest injury report from what we know. All right, I think that's important. All right, so let's just go over that very quickly. All right, and then you know, we can kind of talk about some of these injuries. All right, so just bear with me one time. All right, so we got the latest injury report for Monday Night Football, and it's going to be interesting. And then a lot of people are a little worried about Christian McCaffrey. You know, a little worried about Christian McCaffrey, and you know what? We got 48 votes on the Frank Gore. 79% of you guys said yes, said that Frank Gore will be inducted first ballot into the Hall of Fame. Now, Christian McCaffrey is labeled questionable. Let's do another poll. Will Christian McCaffrey play tonight? I think a lot of people feel that his injury is a little bit more serious than what they're leading it to be. Now, Christian McCaffrey was diagnosed with a calf strain earlier during training camp and preseason, and then just updated to calf/Achilles. All right, will Christian McCaffrey play the majority? I'm gonna make it, you know, majority of the game. All right, so you know, you guys can type in yes. You guys can click on no. All right, super simple poll questions while we're live on the show. Thank y'all for bearing with me. But let's focus on who's out. Defensive end, Yetur Gross-Matos is out. Linebacker D. Winters is out with the ankle injury, knee injury for Gross-Matos. Doubtful is Talanoa Hufanga, the safety. All right, and then your questionable guys: Christian McCaffrey, calf, Achilles, Aaron Banks, finger. Now, let's focus on the outs. Yetur Gross-Matos not playing in this game. Free agent that we went in and signed. This hurts the 49ers in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because of depth. It hurts the 49ers when it comes to rotation. Okay? Because was he starting out there with the San Francisco 49ers? No, he wasn't going to be a starter. But when you're talking about the depth and having fresh guys and fresh legs come in, that's where the 49ers may slightly be taking a little hit. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe Gross-Matos was great at setting the edge. He was able to do inside and outside work from what I've seen him do in Carolina, as well as what he was able to do here as he was learning the system, the defensive schemes and things like that with San Francisco. And unfortunately, because of the knee injury he suffered in one of the preseason games, which he was listed week to week, the 49ers thought it would be best that he did not play. Now, just to give you guys, he was going to, as far as on the depth, kind of had him backing up the right side with Leonard Floyd. So the question is, who's going to be the next man up? And so like you gotta kind of dig deep, next man up, because right now, remember, the 49ers didn't keep a lot of defensive ends, a lot of defensive linemen, period. So now we got to start digging in. Is it going to be a couple of the guys that they got on the practice squad? Who are they going to call up? And I think my issue is that they'll call up my man Sam O. Remember, he was the guy that made the 49ers official 53 roster. Then they let him go, and then they brought back the tight end or whatnot, Eric Saubert, I believe, or something like that. Either way, he was released, but then the Niners brought him back with potential to return to the active roster. And I think with the report of Gross-Matos being out, I think this is where Sam O may get the nod of being called up from the correct practice squad. It's either him or it's the other guy that I cannot. Hold on, let me find my original list, because the Niners had several players, but I think I deleted them from my list and I didn't re-add them back. But they got a couple of guys, veterans with depth, and to back up Leonard Floyd or whatever. The Niners are going to need that. They're going to need to be able to rotate guys in and rotate guys out. And I think that is, I said Matost. I thought I said toast. Okay. They keep, every time I say the name, they say I'm saying it wrong, but I thought I said toast. It might sound like I'm saying toast, but I said gross matos. See? No T at the end. Os. Os, like dose. You know what I'm saying? Dose matos. Dose matos. Not matost. Matos. All right. So I thought I was saying it right, but if you said I said it wrong, then I said it wrong. My bad. But listen, here's a take that I like. Shout out to my bro, William. He says sign Yannick Ngakoue, and I'm not even going to attempt to spell his name. This is a guy that I've been high on, and if you go through the playlist where it has my reels, like my shorts clips in there, I did a short on this guy 2 seasons ago, and he's sitting as a free agent. And the 49ers clearly have some bread, and they're not going to sign him for this game, but it could be if the Matos injury sustains and it doesn't seem to be getting a little bit better, I can see the 49ers probably going out there to make a move. All right, but Yannick Ngakoue is out there just chilling, waiting to be signed to a team, to a contender to play, and he would be the number one person on my list. Yes, he is still a free agent. He has not been signed as of yet. They could bring back, I like this, they could bring back Randy Gregory. How many of you by the show of hands would oppose, which means you don't want Randy Gregory back on the 49ers? Put your thumbs up, hands up, whatever in the chat. Let's just see how you guys feel about that. But this is a potential player that is familiar with the 49ers system. Ooh. Where did does anybody know where are we over? Oh my gosh. When I tell you, when 49er players kind of like, when they leave the 49ers, they kind of like leave my memory. I'm trying to think. It was an edge rusher, Kerry Hyder Jr. Where did Kerry Hyder Jr. go? Does anybody know? I'm just curious to know if anybody knows. So we got. Oh, you want him here? We got some thumbs up. No on Gregory, Majay Sanders. I remember Majay Leon coming out of college. You know what I'm saying? There are, I tell you what, let's have a good conversation since we talking about depth. And you know what's funny? I thought I was the only one worried about depth, and clearly I'm not. This is crazy. Like, I thought I was the only one, worried about depth at this particular position, and clearly I ain't the only one. That is crazy. That is so crazy to me. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take a look at some of the free agents that are free. All right, so let's see. Free agents available. Yannick Ngakoue is number 1 on the list, and he's 29.4 years old. He's 7 years of experience. And if it costs you 7 vet minimum, Ngakoue would probably make a decision, you know what I mean, when it comes to if he wants to contend for a team. I see Majay Sanders out there as well. And he was a free agent from Houston. He won't cost the 49ers probably much of anything. They're going to spend a little bread if they do want Yannick Ngakoue. But when you look at the list, it's him or Shaq Lawson. Like, does anybody oppose to Shaq Lawson? I don't. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners bring back Austin Bryant. I know you guys are like, who, what, when, where, why, but Austin Bryant has been in the Niners system as well, who was released recently by the 49ers. So, look, they got some options out there. Majay Sanders would be a kid that I really would like here, kid from Houston, played for Houston. I would love him here. But Shaq Lawson, Yannick Ngakoue, I'm looking for veterans. I'm not looking for young talent. I feel like the Niners got the young talent. So if they're going to look at a defensive end, they probably want to go look at one of these guys that can probably come in. And remember the year when we brought in oh my God. And he got hurt. He played for the Lions. Help me out, y'all. He played for the Lions. He came in that one game. He got injured. And then they had to release him. He was a defensive end. Who am I talking about? He played for, I think he had dreads. He played for the Lions, and then he got injured. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Help me out, please. Help me. I can't think of who I'm talking about. He was a defensive end. Not Garrett. No. He came in and he messed up his hand. Something with his hand. Not Teray. Oh, I remember Teray. Not Teray. Teray played for the Colts. You guys are gonna be. What the freak was his name? I remember him playing for the Lions, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be. I felt like he played for another team too, but it was mainly the Lions, and I feel like he was brought in because that's where Chris Kosaric was from. Remember? And he was a problem. He was a problem. I cannot remember his name to save my life. Anyway, he was a veteran. The Niners went after him, and I thought we would. Ziggy Smalls is the illest. What was his full name? Anthony Ziggy. Oh my God, I can't think of his last name. It was Ziggy. I know his first name was Ziggy. I do remember that. But Ziggy, I thought he was going to be a breath of fresh air for the 49ers. They had a veteran pass rusher, a guy that could help soak up doubles. He could set the edge on the outside. Anthony, listen, Anthony, you are a real one. I can't remember his full name, but it was definitely Ziggy. But Ziggy was the guy. Good job. Good job. I don't even know how to say it, Maui. I'm not even going to try. Nope. Not gonna do it, but yes, Ziggy Smalls, because I used to call him Ziggy. Ziggy Smalls is the illest. I remember. So listen, is it Anza? Was it that, Aaron? It could have been just that. I don't remember. Ansa. Right. That's how you spell it. Thank you. Ezekiel Ziggy Ansa. I think that's his real name. There it is. Ezekiel Ana. We called him Ziggy, right? I'm just saying, I think if the 49ers are going to go that route, they're going to have to go that way. But you know what? Let's see what the 49ers depth looks like, as far as who they're going to have as far as rotation, because that's key, man. That's key. And I mentioned, we know that Drake Jackson's out for the season. Who can possibly be some of the depth for the 49ers? Robert Bill Jr. is going to get an opportunity to make a name for himself this year. He's just going to get that opportunity, and they got a couple of veteran guys that they just brought in. But Sam O, that's who I'm rocking with. Sam O, I think, is going to be the player that's called up for Gross Matos. I think the Niners are pretty much stacked at linebacker. My starting linebackers for tonight, I didn't even have D. Winters starting. I just wanted D. Winters on the football field, even though he's ruled out. But my starting linebackers, Fred Warner, Devondre Campbell, and I prefer Curtis Robinson out there, but it's probably going to be DFF. So one of those two. They're gonna go with the vets, and then they got the depth there as well. You might see some on rundowns. You might see some Tatum Bethune, some of the rookie. You might see some of the rookie out there. So it's going to be interesting. Who's going to be playing in Greenlaw's spot? Taryn Bams wants to know. Well, I believe Greenlaw's spot is Devondre Campbell, so they'll have him playing on the weak side. And I think when they go to nickel, I still think Campbell and Fred Warner stays on the field, even though I do like DFF in coverage. So I wouldn't be surprised if they rotate DFF out on nickel packages with Devondre Campbell, because I think DFF is just a better coverage linebacker. He's just not good against the run. And I think Campbell is still good at both. But I think this is going to be an all-pro season from Campbell. I think Campbell's going to give you an all-pro game today. Why? Because he's playing up to an all-pro standard. And you got to remember, man, listen, Campbell is an all-pro. He was a former all-pro. So let's see what happened. He's a little older now, but let's see what happens in week one. Let's just see. You gotta kind of like stand out. And nobody's talking about this, and I don't understand. There's nobody. Doesn't Campbell know? Was Campbell there when Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay? Was Campbell there? Somebody tell me if I believe Campbell was there with Aaron Rodgers. So I want Campbell on the football field, right? Like he's an op. Put Devondre Campbell out there. He knows Aaron Rodgers' tendencies. Aaron Rodgers ain't played a game in a year, so it ain't like Aaron Rodgers could change stuff up. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Plus, he old. Ain't Aaron Rodgers like my age? Like the dude is old. All right. We do got a Ricky Pearsall birthday shout out. You know what I'm saying? We got a Ricky Pearsall birthday shout out. So happy birthday to Ricky Pearsall, 49ers rookie wide receiver. Happy birthday shout out, Ricky, pretty Ricky, what they call him. All right, so happy birthday shout out to Ricky Pearsall. If you're watching the show, we appreciate you. We love you. Enjoy your day. Just remember them angels still watching over you, young guy. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're alive. And I'm glad that you're ready to contribute. But let it all happen in God's timing, son. Let it all happen in God's timing. But again, happy birthday to 49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. All right, Ricky Pearsall. He will not be playing in this game. He is on the PUP, so he can't play for the first 4 games with the San Francisco 49ers. But happy birthday shout out to Ricky Pearsall. All right, let's get to some game day predictions. You guys, some game day predictions. Give me some game day predictions that you guys have, and I'll post them up. And I'll give you my takes on them. All right, some game day predictions. For example, who would throw for the most yards, Aaron Rodgers or Brock Purdy? Like that'll be like, and so like I predict Aaron Rodgers to throw for less yards than Brock Purdy. But but Aaron Rodgers may, give me some game day predictions. That's just kind of like an example. That's kind of like what I want to do the show before the games. I want to do some game day predictions. We're not talking score predictions here, but if you guys got any game day predictions, feel free to put them out there and whatnot. I expect Christian McCaffrey to play full game, full throttle. That was the question. 58% of you guys that voted said but 42 said he won't play the majority of the game. Ooh, interesting. I see some good takes out here. I truly do. Turbo Duran says, I got the Jets over the 49ers tonight. Ooh. All right. I'm looking at some of these. I asked for takes. So let me see what I could get in here. Whatnot. Here's the first one that I see from Niners_Nation. Bosa gonna get 1.5 sacks on today. All right, so look, Bosa versus Tyron Smith. Bosa versus Tyron Smith. You got him for 1.5 sacks. I like it. I think that's a good number. So we got the number set at 1.5 sacks. Is it over or under 1.5 sacks? Niners Nation set it at 1.5 sacks. You guys are going to go over or under the 1.5 sacks. Let me know if you got the over, you got the under. Okay, let me know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play over or under with y'all predictions. How about we do that? Let's do it. Over or under Bosa 1.5 sacks. Let me know what you guys got in the chat. All right. And as I'm going to continue to, star some of these as well. I see some of these predictions. I love it. Keep it going. Keep them going. I'm starring them. All right, so I got some overs. I got over. Ooh, interesting. I got an under. Ricardo Hernandez. Remember that name. Listen, they are going to do whatever they can to make sure that Nick Bosa doesn't perform. Here's the thing, though. It's week 1. It's full of energy. It's full of Nick Bosa, and it's Aaron Rodgers. I think Nick Bosa, it's on national TV. I forgot that. So if you picked under, cool, but I got a lot of overs. 1.5, that's a good number. Max is under. What if the number is just 1? So you guys are going to lose on that half sack, man. If you don't get that half sack, if you don't share that sack with somebody, all right, share that sack with somebody. We will do score predictions at the very end of the show. And so save your score predictions. But if I see them, I definitely will star them. All right. Star them. All right. So look, over or under, the question was, will Nick Bosa have 1.5 sacks, over or under? All right. Over or under. All right. Let me go. I see a couple of questions here before I get to some more. Trey Thurl says, did y'all see Purdy and Debo on the Transformer commercial? Debo got to work on his acting skills. I didn't see it. How did I miss that? I didn't see it. I definitely will check it out. And that Transformer movie looked really good, but they always look good in the previews, and then you get to the movie theater and you be like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping it's good. You know, I'm a Transformer by nature. Like I just transformed by nature. Nigel says, is it true that BA will be on a snap count or reduce playing time? That's kind of like the rumor that's going out there. That's the report that went out. I don't believe that that's the case, but the Niners, if that is the case, the Niners just better be prepared. And that means guys like Jacob Cowing, Chris Conley, Ronnie Bell, whoever's dressed and active for this game better make the best of their opportunities. Because once Brandon Ayuk is full throttle, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So to my rookie Jacob Cowing, man, when you get that opportunity, bro, go out there and make it. Make the best you can out of the opportunities you get. Chris Conley, we already know, man, he is the veteran in the room. He is the seasoned veteran in the room. I'll leave it at that. He has the most experience in the NFL. I just really see everybody looking up to him, and I really like that. But he's also out there going out there to put, his best game forward. Jawan Jennings got to make the best of his opportunities as well. We already know what he can do, but if BA is on a limited snap count, those 49ers got to go out there and do the daggone thing. The wide receiver room is stacked for a reason. It's stacked for a reason. Leon says 2 interceptions for our defense. All right, let's set the next over or under. Will the defense get under 2 interceptions, over 2 interceptions, or with Leon push at 2 interceptions? You don't got to guess the players who get the interceptions. I just want to know if you think that the 49ers defense, not just the secondary, the whole defense gets 2 interceptions, less, more, or at the number 2. All right, let me go ahead and check back to this chat. Let's see where we are with this. All right, I see an even out there. I see a couple of evens out there. We pushing. Avatar says we pushing. I like it. Mickey, we pushing. You might be talking about the other thing. My bad. So let's go here. Okay, here we go. Under Emmanuel Martinez, under 2 interceptions. Interesting. Peachy, over. Snoopy, cousin Snoop, push. Taryn, under. Alejandro, 2, push. Uncle B, over. I like this. Red Jet Shell, push. Everybody, push it. All right, I like it. Milton, under. Collie, push. Even, under. Ooh, interesting. So when we're saying this, right, we're saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a pretty bad game. You know what? One of my keys to victory usually is if you win a turnover battle, you win the game. But sometimes that's not always true. There's context to that. But if Aaron Rodgers throws 2 interceptions, at least the 49ers better seal this deal. Okay? They better seal the deal. My man Steven says 2, Fred and Lenore. All right. So he picked the players, Fred and Lenore. That's funny. That's funny that you picked those 2 players. I like it. Don't bother me. Under, but I'll take 2 turnovers, right? I'm with you. Listen, don't sleep on Jair Brown. I wouldn't be surprised if George Odom get a pick. Like, I'm telling you, the 49ers secondary is on point. I don't know about Fred Warner in this game. As far as interceptions, my take is I think Fred is going to be locked in, just making sure that the linebackers aren't skipping a beat. If there is coverage and he drops back and the ball is thrown to him, yeah, for sure. Fred has great hands, but I'm really hoping that the secondary does what they need to do, but I wouldn't be surprised. I already gave you a bold prediction that Fred Warner would lead the team in interceptions this year, so that's super bold. I don't think it could get any more bold than that. That was a good one, Leon. That was a good one. All right, Manuel Martinez says Debo's 2 TDs, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. All right, so we got to go over under the 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Now, is he going to get over 1 rushing, over 1 receiving, or does he push, or does he get under? This is a tough one because he has to score in 2 different types of ways. 2 different types of ways, okay? 2 different types of ways. So let me know what you guys got. Over, under, Manuel Martinez, Debo's 2 TDs. I actually like this episode. This is kind of cool. You guys making me think. Over or under. Me personally, I'm gonna go You can only pick over, under, or push. You got to be all in or you go all under. Okay, you can't do it. You can't be like, oh, he overrun rushing, overrun. I'm gonna go over with both. I think for me, I'm going over with both. I think they're going to try to utilize Deebo Samuel some way in this rushing game. I think they're going to mix it up. They're going to see some Jacob Cowing back there, as well as Deebo Samuel lined up in the backfield. And so I think he'll get a rushing TD, especially down around that goal line. I wouldn't be surprised if they use Deebo over Jordan Mason. I know it's crazy, but it's Kyle Shanahan. There's nobody more crazier than Kyle Shanahan when it comes to play calling, make you scratch your head. And so, yeah, especially because you'll probably get like a big explosive run between Jordan Mason or Christian McCaffrey. They'll get you down to the 1-2 yard line. He'll bring in Deebo and make the defense go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So yeah, I got over. I mean, you know what? I'm changing it. I'm not going over. I'm pushing. I'm sorry. I'm pushing. My bad. I said it wrong. Y'all think about this. Y'all saying that Deebo, if you pick over, you're saying that Deebo's gonna have 2 rushing TDs. He might have 2 receiving TDs. Ain't no way he getting 2 rushing TDs. I'm gonna go with push. I feel like this number 11 represents Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel honors him with the 1 rushing, 1 receiving, and leaves it at that. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it at the push. But shout out to those that said over, because I hope y'all understand what's happening here. I don't think Deebo gets 2 rushing TDs if you pick over. You know what I mean? All right. So let's. We got look over. I think you think the way I'm thinking don't bother me. I think we thinking alike. Jeffrey with the over, Snoopy over, Alejandro says under. I can understand that. It's a tough one. It's tough. You're asking him, is he going to get a rushing TD or is he going to get a receiving TD? That was a good one, Manny Martin. That was a good one. Under, over, under. Nigel push. Shout out to all my pushes. Peachy says, like Breezie says, no stipulations. No stipulations. So that's an interesting one. That one almost threw me for a loop. Y'all made me mess up. I can't stand y'all. I can't stand. You made me mess up. I read that like, oh yeah, Deebo about to go hamburger. He may go hamburger in yards, but as far as the scoring production, I think it's a push. That's a good one. Let's see if I got any more. And then we'll get to some score predictions, and then we'll dip up out of here. All right. Let's see. Ooh, I like this. All right. So Nigel says, I think Rodgers will throw a pick before a TD. All right. Will Aaron Rodgers throw an interception before a touchdown? Okay. Over or under? You can't push here. It's either he throws the interception before a touchdown or he doesn't. What do you guys think? And listen, be mindful. Come on, man. Be real. Okay? Be real. All right? Be real. Okay, so we're going to start with the first yes. My man Jeffrey, he says yes. He says Aaron Rodgers will throw an interception before he throws a touchdown. Oh, Kylie, you think Kylie's slick. That was a good one. Let me put that back up there. So, Nigel, that was a good one. Let me put that at Kylie's. Yours is next. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, it disappears. Oh, okay. I see what happened. When I click on some of y'all comments, it disappeared. I should be able to change that. But no, that's a good one right there. That's a real good one. All right. I really do like that. Let me go back to some of these comments. Let's see. We got a bunch. Ooh. Over. No. Over. Yes. Yeah, he rusty as hell. I like that. Yes, with the context. Rusty as hell. Steven Draper, Rodgers gets sacked twice in the first quarter. Uncle B, no. Look, it's interesting to see, it's possible it's possible he's off, which I need him to be off anyway. First of all, I want the Jets to lose. Let me just make myself clear. Second of all, if you play fantasy football like I do, unfortunately, I want to win this week, and I need him to not. need Garrett Wilson not to activate week 1. I need the Niners to handle Garrett Wilson this week, just for me. Also, I need the Niners to activate George Kittle, just for me. Like, they're the only 2 leagues I really care about this year. I need the Niners to hit me with that. I'm going to give you guys, with George Kittle, over or under 2 touchdowns in this game. Over or under 2 touchdowns. George Kittle, over or under. Put your joints up in this chat real quickly, quick. Then we'll get to some score predictions, and then I'll see you guys at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my boy Mike. That's 1 p.m. Pacific Time on the B.A.M show. We're going to bring you a good B.A.M show today. All right. 2 touchdowns for George Kittle. When I tell you Cousin Snoop is back. Cousin Snoop, how the freak you get all this written? I asked for over or under. This is the prediction. I asked y'all for predictions. He gave us a prediction. Kittle with a 65-yard TD, first TD of the mother freaking game. Hit him with it, baby. Hit him. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a prediction. Love it. George Kittle, 2 touchdowns is what I'm asking for. Manuel says under. Ariel, under. Jax, under with the context. You see the context? I ain't asked for context, but when you give context, that lets me know y'all paying attention. Under, he blocking. Ooh, I'll give you my take on George Kittle in a second. Under. He gonna learn tonight. Under, 2 TD over. Shout out to Mike. Appreciate you, fam. I'm with you, bro. I think this is a George Kittle game. I'll explain why in a mother freaking second. All right. He's talking to Shelly. Over. Oh, we got a push. See, y'all not paying attention, but Dion is paying all the attention. I specifically said 2, over, under. So everybody that's saying under is dope because that means he might get at the 2. But Dion is saying he might only score 2. And if you pick over, that means he's getting 3 touchdowns. But if you pick over, I'm with you. And I'll explain why. Under. See, I'm learning this under stuff and over stuff. Uncle B, over. Anthony, over. Nigel, push. All right, check this out. We going with the under. Check this out, though. So let me just give you my take on George Kittle. Listen, let me just read to you. Let me see if I can give you guys these names. Now, I know this is the first week of the season, and none of these names may mean anything to you. But when I think about the San Francisco 49ers and I think about a guy like George Kittle, there's literally maybe 2 and a possible NFL caliber players. 2 and a possible. Maybe 2 and a possible. Okay? 2 and a possible players that I feel like can negate George Kittle in the receiving game. Now, I like the context that Jax gave. She said under because he's going to be blocking. But let me tell you something. That's great context. But if Kyle Shanahan doesn't use George Kittle in this game, then I'm going to seriously have to question Kyle Shanahan. Because when I look at their weakness is the safety position. And typically, when the Niners come out and these receiver sets, or even in 12 personnel with a running back there and 2 tight end sets, linebacker going to cover one of them. I don't think they linebackers can cover our tight ends either. I think they're good tacklers, but we're talking about in space and in passing. I don't think they can cover them. So I'm going to give you a couple names, okay? And you tell me if they're going to be able to cover this guy. Now, the only way I feel like George Kittle can be covered is if Robert Saleh says, you know what, he's taking advantage of our safeties. Listen, Chuck Taylor, Ashton Davis, Tony Adams, Isaiah Oliver. He may know Kittle the best, but listen, if I see Isaiah Oliver on his field and Brock Purdy doesn't throw it to that direction, whoever Isaiah Oliver is covering in zone, whatever, ball better be thrown. It's non-negotiable. Ball better be thrown. I want the Niners to attack. I'm getting mad. I'm getting hyped. I'm sorry. I want the Niners to attack Isaiah Oliver and attack Javon Kinlaw. You attack them. You run right to him. You run to him. I want to see if Javon Kinlaw can stop the run. He ain't stopped the run in 5 seasons. And Isaiah Oliver can't cover a bed if he was a blanket, bro. He's like that blanket that don't stay on top of the bed no matter what you do. You put it on there and somehow it end up on the floor. Somehow it don't stay tucked in. That's Isaiah Oliver. He can't cover. He can't. So listen, if George Kittle isn't utilized and featured, I'm gonna have some issues. I'm not saying you force the ball to him. I'm saying you take advantage of the safeties. And if they come out and they say, hey, we got to put our weak side linebacker on George Kittle. Well, Quincy Williams ain't covering George Kittle. Neither is C.J. Mosley. And the only help that they may have, is if they put Sauce Gardner on George Kittle. If George Kittle's feet, and if they do that, you don't throw it. You find the goddamn wide receiver in your man coverage or whatever that Sauce isn't covering, and that's where you go with the ball. This is going to be a great game of Brock just using his intelligence. Now, I'm getting excited because I'm thinking of so many ways that Kyle can take advantage of Robert Saleh and his tough defense. The Jets got a tough defense on paper. So I'll leave it at that. But I really think that George Kittle needs to be utilized, not just in the freaking like run blocking game. Like, no, it's Chuck and Tony. They sound like they're in charge of I think I got a Chuck and Tony's junkyard parts store out here somewhere. Where all the cars that get totaled from the accidents go. You need a radio, you go there because you ain't gonna pay about $5, $10. That's what they remind me. They ain't covering anything. I don't think they could cover. And you talk about George Kittle. We talk about a guy. Remember what George Kittle did in the preseason? That's George Kittle. Kittle over the middle. Remember that. So I'm over. I think Kittle gets 3 touchdowns in this game. He's the primary weapon. And I don't think they have an answer for George Kittle. And that's how you attack this Jets defense. I know this show isn't about how we attack or whatever like that, but I saw George Kittle. I looked at the matchup. I put that over or under out there, and I got dumb excited like an idiot. Okay, whatever it is. But look, again, run at Kinlaw. Test DJ Reed. Whoever's a 49er, just make them wish they were still a 49er. How about that? All right, so let's get to a couple of score predictions. I want to get a couple score predictions. Listen, mine is I've said 31-13. It will not change for me. I'm going to stick with the 31-13. I got a couple of score predictions that I saw earlier. We'll go back to Mac Hightowers. He says, listen, I got 49ers and Houston in the Super Bowl, but I think that the Niners come up short. And I would love, Mac, if you're still watching, I would love the context behind this, because I think this needs context. Because are the Niners winning and Aaron Rodgers wins the game? Because that would be heartbreaking. That would be heartbreaking. So that's Mac's score prediction. There was another one that I saw, Master Anycraft, 27 Niners, Jets 17. This is probably typically what you're going to see. Me personally, I just want the San Francisco 49ers to start their defensive run with 13 and under. That if I was the 49ers in my locker room, right back here, I would hang a sign that says 13 and under. And what that represents is, for one, it represents Brock Purdy's number. Okay? So I'm telling you, Brock, we're not going to give up more than that number on your jersey. You see that 13 right there? That's it. We're not going to give up more than that number. So you go out there and you be the best damn Brock you can be, because all they getting is 13 or less. And that would be me. That would be, if I was a defensive coordinator, or if I was even a defensive player, that would be what I would hang. It's Brock or less. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I'm hoping that's what they take, heed to. Now, I understand football doesn't work like that, but that doesn't mean they can't come in there with that mentality of shutting teams down. Why not? So 27-17, that's a pretty good score. Collie says, Wayne, do you think Rodgers' mobility will be there after the injury, bootlegs, things like that? Yeah, man, listen, he has to try it out. That's why in my key to victory, like one of my keys to victory was containment. It's like just because he hasn't done it doesn't mean he can't do it. make him do it. They're going to bootleg. They're going to do, and they might even do naked bootlegs where there's nobody out there. Like bootleg. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers likes clear vision. And if the 49ers make a mistake, he takes advantage of the mistakes. That's what Aaron Rodgers was. Aaron Rodgers was always great at defenses making mistakes. Guy slipped. Guy ain't on him. Guy, right? And so the question is, you know what the real question is, though, Kali? The real question is this. Will Aaron Rodgers and his players be on the same page? And I think that's a real question, because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play. But what if his receivers, Garrett Wilson, and I heard they haven't been getting along a lot. Like, you know what I mean? I heard they haven't been getting along a lot. So that would be interesting for me, you know what I'm saying, to see if him and his players are on the same page, because the Niners need to go out there and do one thing: take away Breece Hall. That's the number one thing that they need to do. Figure out how to eliminate freaking Breece Hall, because if he activates in the pass catching game, you can take away the run. I think the Niners are going to do really good against the run, but it's the passing game. It's Breece Hall in the passing. It's the check down. It ain't him running routes. I think the Niners will cover the routes. It's when they're back and he's there and it's him catching the ball and 7 yards of steam coming at defenders. That's the issue. So they better figure that out. Alejandro 17-13. Christy Marie 31-14. You just didn't like my 13 and under mantra, did you? You didn't. I didn't do well. I didn't do a good enough job selling that. Okay, my bad. 31-14 still works. The win works. Red Jet Shell 28-24. Man, if the Niners, woo. Yeah, woo, that's going to, woo. Man, you on the seat, edge of the seat. Nigel, 31-17. Nick Nice, another 4-point game, 21-17. This is what Vegas is saying. This is, so that's the 4.5 point spread, kind of like right there, which means they wouldn't even cover the spread right there. Interesting, right? I don't know if it's 4 or 4.5. 10-point game from Uncle B, 31-17. Peachy says mine changed with Trent back, 27-16. My apologies. Mickey, oh God, I can't. Now this I can't, because I feel like the context here is that the game is 17-17 and Brock Purdy leads the team down with no time left and Jake Moody kicks the game winning field goal. That I'm making up your context. I'm not saying that's what your context, but that's what I'm making up. That would be, oh my gosh, that would be crazy. We got another 31-14 right there, 28-17, another 9-point game. Oh, I like that. Corey says Aaron is going to throw 2 interceptions. Tay, if the Niners defense give up 10 points to Aaron Rodgers and that arsenal out there, they will have the best defense in the league. Don't let what you saw the Saints defense do to Carolina fool you. Don't let what you saw. They don't let that fool you. That's the don't let it fool you. Yeah, is their defense good? But they played the Panthers. Well, that's another show. All right, 27-23. I'm just trying to get through all the score predictions that I see. 42-9. Anthony, the Niners only give up 3 field goals. They got Legatron too. Just remember, they got Legatron. Niners Nation 24-13. Snoop 38. Now, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. 38-6. Whoa, Nigel. Great question. Tyler Conklin, their tight end. I think that Robert Saleh. Go back. I don't want to put y'all through PTSD. And I'm not comparing him to this particular player. Go back and watch the Minnesota Vikings game from Monday night and ask me how the Vikings tight end TJ Hawkinson did. And I know they're different, but I think that's what Robert Saleh is going to try to do with Tyler Conklin. He's going to keep him in there. He's going to be the check down guy. I think he sends Breece Hall out, but if we're not covering the tight end, all right, and we're giving up 6-7 yards a catch, once Conklin picks up a good little speed burst, it's an automatic first down. The Niners need to figure out how to eliminate that as well. So if you look at Tyler Conklin, he can be a sleeper weapon for the New York Football Jets. He is not comparable to any of the top tier tight ends, but if you don't want him performing well, then don't let him be the check down and he's gonna get an Aaron Rodgers getting it to him too. So that, and Aaron likes his tight ends. I don't know if you remember, Aaron likes his tight ends. Aaron is also going to test his secondary, guys. He's going to throw this ball down the field. So if he has time, he's going to throw the ball down the field. Guys, I hope you guys are excited. Jesse Martin, 38-24, 14-point game, partially just because I needed the fantasy point. I'm with you, fam. I think everybody needs the Niners defense to do good. I tell you what, if the Niners defense give up 6 points, 9 points, they probably got a top 5 scoring defense this week in fantasy football out there, especially if they're only giving up field goals. Guys, we'll be back 4 p.m. Eastern time. It'll only be on the YouTube though, so if you're watching live on Facebook or Twitch, it will be on the YouTube. It will be on X as well. That's Mike and myself, Mike from Nothing But Niners. We'll be giving you a BAM show where we're gonna kind of like shoot the breeze, preview the game, and let everybody know what we think is going down and give you any updates. Then the pre-game show will be at 7:30. That's with the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk crew, where we'll go over the latest details before the game, and then it's kickoff 8:15 p.m. Overreaction show 30 minutes after the game. 30 minutes after the game. If you guys want more of me and content, I will be live immediately following the game on Bleacher Report. So make sure you download the Bleacher Report app. Find myself, the WayneBreezie, up there. Follow me and put your alerts on. And every time I go live with those guys on Bleacher Report, you'll get a nice show. So, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Appreciate all the love out there in the chat, as well as your feedback and commenting and participation. If I had to grade the chat on participating today, because today was a participation show, it'd be an A+. So give yourselves a round of applause out there. Don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Residency, www.residency.com. Make sure that second E is a number 3, all right, .com. Second E, 3. Use the promo code SBLVIII. And until the next time, keep it faithful to the Bay. We out this joint. Peace.